Welcome back to Starticus Chats. I'm Alistair Cameron from Starticus, and I am joined by Jenny from Raise Ventures. Jenny, how you doing, mate?
Hi Alistair, I'm so excited to be live here at Digital DNA in the Upstart Startup Zone with so many startups having great conversations. I'm excited to be part of it as Raise Ventures and being a sponsor.
Amazeballs, no thank you. And again, Raise Ventures being so supportive of the ecosystem within Northern Ireland, alongside the other sponsors that we've got here. Why do you think something like this is so important to an early stage founder, and in fact to you guys as well?
Yeah, so for the early stage founder, they are always, coming up with fantastic ideas, building great solutions, but then taking it to market can be probably one of the most challenging parts, and they're sitting behind the computer trying to make those sales, particularly maybe on their own, at home or in a co-working space, but actually when they come out and they share their journey with other startups about building tech products and trying to get sales and trying to get investment, they can share expertise and share knowledge and actually feel that they're not on their own. So this is why this is really important, to bring them out, network with other founders. But why we really wanted to get them involved is it's also an opportunity for them to meet potential customers and potential suppliers. With the bigger kind of medium enterprises and the larger corporate sponsors here, they can get a chance to go and find out what BT are doing, what PwC are doing, and actually have a conversation, which might be a lot harder to do from behind your computer. So we really wanted to showcase what fantastic companies are out there and give them an opportunity to network and potentially make connections.
I think also it really helps for a founder to be able to clearly and succinctly explain what they do, because like from the beginning of day one to now, I can see some improvement in perhaps how some of the founders are being able to explain, that elevator pitch, which is so important. And you only get that through practice, don't you? And meeting people as well to do that.
If you've got 10 people coming up to you in a day and asking what you do, but the 10th person, you're going to be able to refine what exactly it is you're offering and be really clear and concise, and then that makes it a lot better pitch for anybody who's going to listen. So it's an opportunity to practice, trial things, ask questions. It's great,
Yeah, no, totally. And like sometimes get pushback on some of the things that you're doing as well, which makes you think about the process that we're in. It's not all going to be yeses, it's going to be a lot of no's, but it's also going to be investors asking those challenging questions. So if you can get some of those questions out of the way early days and know what your responses are and you have good answers, then that's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah, we were having some conversations with the founders yesterday, and they were just saying, like, we've done this and we've done that, but what more do we need to do to maybe think about raising investment? And it's really refining the business model and who is those first customers, and trying to not get distracted by too many different types of customers and get the curveball and chase that curveball down the road that's not going to lead to anything. Be really focused, be really refined, and if they can do that, then they're going to succeed. And if the startups here learn from each other, that's going to be fantastic. So
totally. And I'm looking into the startup zone now, and I can see obviously you've got Kieran from Machinery Partners, who's a startup that's gone on to Techstars out in the States. He's raised like 4 million or so. He's now walking around the startup zone, and I think the benefit of Northern Ireland is knowing that so many of the founders that are here that have done it want to give back to the next ones coming through. Do you get that vibe, obviously, at the moment within NI?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a 15-minute coffee with somebody who's been there and done it, they'll always take the time, and it's just having to ask, what is it you want from those founders that have been there and done it, so that you're making best use of your time and their time, because they don't have a lot of time. But for them to come down here and actually, see what's going on and share their knowledge is so invaluable. But make, treasure those moments.
Totally. So, like, what one piece of advice would you pass on to a founder who maybe isn't even at this stage yet of showcasing their business, but they've got an idea? Like, what would be the one thing that you would suggest that they do straight away?
I think they have to take it out beyond their network. Even if it's a design prototype that they can click through and test it, take it out beyond the family and friends and test with people that don't know them and the real customers, and say, look, if I spend money building this technical product and trying to sell this technical product, will you buy it? And actually validating it as early as possible, getting the feedback, iterating the product, and then solving a real problem, because industry founders and technical founders come up with great products that they know are going to work, but they want to check that somebody else is going to work. So it's out and beyond friends and families to come into events like this and asking for referrals and saying, look, do you know somebody in this industry that's got this problem that I could just have a friendly chat to, but they don't really know who I am, and they're going to give me honest feedback. And that's so invaluable. And back to what you said earlier, it's not all going to be roses. You got to say, look, I don't like this price, or I don't like how this works, or you know, can you try this? And there's always going to be a wish list, but can you do it 2 or 3 times? You get the top 3 things that you need to work on to make it really valuable. That value proposition, people buy good products as well.
100%. And like, finally, just tell us a little bit about Raise Ventures itself. Like, what do you do to support the ecosystem here?
So we're early stage startup accelerator program. We've been going now for 3 years, and we have 20 early stage companies under our portfolio. And what we saw the need for was startups coming with, as you said, an idea and a product and a business, but maybe they couldn't really refine what the target market was and the commercial opportunities. We really help with the finishing of the technical product, the commercial opportunity, and then presenting that in a way that's investable. So, you know, refining the opportunity down that they go, it's not just this small MVP today. In 5 years' time, it can grow and scale to be this fantastic, potentially global opportunity that can make a return for investors. So we talked to them about the first 6 months, but then what could be possible in the next 5 years. So vision matched with operations, and we help them not just with the business foundations, but the investment terminology. It's a wee bit like a different language. And I saw that, you know, Eamon Carey from Techstars has now got this book out about, about startup terminology. I think there needs to be one about investor terminology.
Well, let's drop a little soundbite actually on that. Like, so it's Ken Valladay and Eamon Carey. They've got a book called Startup Lexicon. In fact, I'm hoping to get a copy at the end of the week so that I can basically read up, because you never ever get to the stage of understanding the terminology within this sector. It is so diverse, and it does kind of create a barrier, doesn't it, for some founders? Like, if you're scared off by the language that's used, perhaps you maybe don't develop your idea. So it is a great idea for a book. Yeah,
to actually sit down and go, right, somebody's said you need to build an MVP, and they've no idea what an MVP is. So like that simple thing, we use a term every day. But if you don't know what it is, how can you build it?
Totally.
So I think the investor terminology is the same. What's a term sheet? What's a cap table? What's preference shares? And you're sitting down thinking, I really need money. I'm going to sign away a part of my company for these preference shares, and actually that's not a good idea. So understanding what's going on in the black and whites for you to be informed decisions, and we're founder friendly and sit on the side of the founder, and that's why we do what we do, give them the best chance to level up, to put their best foot forward and make great scalable global, you know, companies coming out of Raise. You know, 3 or 4 years time there's going to be the grassroots are being fed now. For those to kind of come back.
Big time. And then I'm going to go in my head like Broker IQ, Scanmatic, like they're two that just slip off the tongue now in terms of the success story. And I know that you've been part of that journey as well. Like, obviously, yes, the founders, of course, are amazing, but having that validation from inside, and obviously those people challenging the business model and how it operates, that's so important, isn't it, for a founder? So, like, obviously, I can see another 10 of those coming through over the next 2 or 3 years.
We do both. I call it a bit of carrot and stick. We do a bit of championing from the background. Yes, you're doing a great job, celebrate the big wins, but we also do accountability. Like, you know, have you done this? Have you thought about that? Go away and just really keep it simple and keep it really refined, and then they put a better pitch forward to the outside world. So a bit of a sounding board, but also a bit of accountability.
Yeah, no, totally. So thank you so much for being a sponsor of the Startup Zone here at Digital DNA. We'll be back with more Startup Chat soon. Thank you.